Welcome to OState Daily. Casey Porter here. So glad that you decided to tune in. Fans, today have a very special guest. Very special to Oklahoma State because he's an awesome closer, pitcher, whatever you want. Been a starting pitcher most of your life, but closer so far at Oklahoma State. Special to me because you went to Westmont College, and I know a lot of guys who went there. And then also, you're a diehard Angels fan, right?
No, Dodgers.
Oh, Dodgers. Wanted to make sure to get that cleared up.
Yeah, gotta be a Dodgers fan.
Okay, so you grew up, what, 20, 30 minutes northwest of LA, right?
Yeah, just about.
Right, okay, so is LA going to go back-to-back this year, the Dodgers?
I mean, I gotta say yes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they made some of the biggest pickups in the offseason, and they're building a winning culture, so all I can hope is they do it again.
What's the most exciting thing for you watching them right now?
Just the way that they play.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a bunch of adults, but they're still a bunch of guys playing a kid's game, and they love it. And you can tell when they play, they're playing not just for themselves, but for the people around them and for the greater good of the team. So it's awesome to watch.
Okay, I got you set up so I can ask you the hard question, all right?
All right.
So the Dodgers, here's the big question. Are they built or are they bought? Pleading the fifth on that one?
I'm going to plead the fifth because this is a lose-lose no matter how I answer it.
No doubt. Get that all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, let's dive back in. How in the world is a guy from Los Angeles, went to Westmont College, who was NAIA, then Division II, correct, end up at Oklahoma State?
So, I mean, it was a long journey. Out of high school, I decided to go there just because I really wanted to develop a little bit more. I knew that I wasn't really where I needed to be coming out of high school, and I wanted to go somewhere to get opportunities. You know, I had friends that went the Division I route or went to other schools, and sometimes they didn't get the opportunities they might have thought they were going to get. So I wanted to go somewhere where I could play and develop. Lucky enough to get opportunities my freshman year and then sophomore year as well. I honestly had full intent of going back there. Our head coach had actually changed schools, so I decided to get in the portal, and I took it as a sign, and honestly just wanted to go somewhere I was going to develop and be a part of a winning culture and a team that was going to make me better both on and off the field. So,
does Westmont have lights yet?
They do not.
So how many times did you get to pitch in twilight where the hitter couldn't see it?
Maybe a few.
That's fun, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Is that where you got your confidence from? Like, dude, you ain't hitting this.
So I got lucky enough to throw the early game, but I won't lie to you. Last year, a few times, we had quite a few ties on our record just because the game got called due to darkness.
Yeah.
But
your catcher stops calling sliders; he can't see it. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
So, I don't think a lot of people know. Hey, I know Westmont was in IA, then they're Division II, and you kind of hear that, and you're like, okay, well, especially here in Oklahoma, you never heard the name, that kind of deal, but. The director of minor league pitching coordinator went to Westmont. The Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, the single A pitching coach, went to Westmont. Coach Hubbard, the pitching coach there, was the pitching director at Georgia Tech forever, one of the best pitching coaches in America. So that's like a pitching factory, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's been, I mean, it was awesome having that kind of, you know, culture that was built up there and respect that was built up there with those coaches and, you know, as well former players and everything along those lines.
Did you ever get to pitch to Simon Reed?
I did not. No,
you did not?
He actually got drafted the year right before I got there, so never got the opportunity to.
So talk about Coach Hubbard. He's one of the best.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Hubbard came in and instantly made an impact within the team, within the staff, everything like that. He basically wasn't just a coach, but he was also like a friend, right?
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
He understood how to work with us both on and off the field and develop us as players and people, because I believe what he believed as well as what we believed is that those two things come together and ultimately make you better on the field as a whole. You know, he brought a little bit more of an analytical side to us that we didn't
Did
have.
you like that?
I did.
Okay, good.
It was something I hadn't really experienced very much before, and I think it helped me out a lot during my process of trying to grow and develop and everything like that, and opportunities and everything like that.
So you growing up, being a Dodgers fan, being in LA and seeing all the analytics like that, coming to OSU, you have all the TrackMan system. I mean, you know, the vertically induced, I mean, you can dive into whatever weed you wanted to dive into,
Absolutely.
right? So talking to guys, it's usually like, well, I kind of use it, I kind of don't. What's that balance like for you?
So for me, I'm not a huge fan of it, if I'm being
right.
completely honest with you.
You're more feel?
I'm more feel.
Yeah.
I think it's good to be able to look back and say, okay, you know, today My slider was better. Why was it better? Was I releasing it a little bit differently? Was it spinning a little bit harder? Was it faster? I think it's important for those things. You know, my fastball felt good today. What was I doing differently? How did it move a little bit differently? I personally think that it's very, very much so can become a very dark rabbit hole, you know, because today your fastball could be spinning here and moving this much, and then tomorrow it could be down 2 or 3, up 2 or 3, and moving completely different. Sometimes that happens. And if you decide you're going to look at it, you're going to probably get in your own head about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is intentional because you get to make your own decisions, but you get to pitch for Coach Hubbard at Westmont, one of the best.
Right.
And you get to come and pitch for the Wizard here at Oklahoma
Absolutely.
State. Man, you've had a pretty good life going here, huh?
Without question, without question. I've been super lucky and fortunate to have those kind of coaches behind me.
So as good as you did there at Westmont, I'm sure as soon as you got here, you and Coach, I know you had a meeting with Coach Walton this morning. You guys, I'm sure, made some adjustments as soon as you got here. Can you talk about those?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the biggest things we dove into instantly was film. So with Coach Walton, it was started off as mechanical, looking at some of those small things like why misses were certain misses and things along those lines. So that was the first thing we decided to clean up. And then working on, you know, I just had to slightly release my slider a little bit differently, and it turned into the pitch that I was looking for. And honestly, just bouncing ideas back and forth off of each other and just continue to have a competitive aspect and everything like that.
So what pitch has always been your best second? We know the fastball's big. I mean, you like to throw at the top of the zone, that high rider deal with a lot of backspin, a lot of carry. That's a really good pitch for you.
Thank you.
So that's always going to be a good pitch. You said that come naturally, right? You didn't, I mean, it
So
kind of happened?
I mean, I've kind of worked on it a little bit, but it wasn't something where I went somewhere and was like, all right, how do I get more spin rate?
No
It was
drive
just
line or anything?
Nothing like that. I trained at a place for 3 years, but it was more weightlifting and then just kind of mechanical deal as well.
Yeah. So your best secondary pitch, what has it always been?
So most of my life, it was my slider.
Okay.
And then I kind of went through a phase when I started throwing the ball a little bit harder. My slider was just a full-on cutter.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't really moving. It was kind of just spinning and everything like that. But currently, I would say the best secondary is the slider. We've made a couple adjustments, got it a little bit harder, a little bit more consistent, which I think has been a good play off the fastball for me.
So sometimes guys separate the slider because you have the depth pitch that kind of looks like a curveball, and you have one that goes, and they separate that from a cutter, the sideways one, and then one with a bigger depth and make it 2 pitches. It sounds like you've kind of combined both of those metrics into one pitch. Would that be correct?
I would say that's pretty correct. There are times where if I'm trying to get a little bit more break on it, I'm able to, it probably drops 1 or 2 miles an hour and it has a little bit of a different movement profile. You know, I stick with the harder one, and then if he's kind of, if I think, all right, he might be on that one, you might change up the look a little bit so it looks a little bit different for him.
So you haven't gotten your changeup quite as much, I'm sure, that you would like this year, right? Would that be correct?
That would be correct, but I think I've been in there in situations where the changeup wasn't something in the forefront. I personally like to attack guys, and I know that's what we like to do here as well. And I think it's something that as I just continue to throw, it's kind of a back pocket pitch, if you will. Kind of coming into situations, and people are just like, oh, I forgot he had that pitch.
Yeah.
So,
Or if you had 2 or 3 innings to let it eat a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the confidence I talk about all the time. One thing that just struck me right away when of course I knew because I knew about you talking to Sean and all that kind of deal, and I kind of knew what Oklahoma State was getting. So I had a confirmation bias, no doubt about it. But the first thing that stuck out about you to me was just the way you commanded the mound, the confidence. It's very obvious that you've been taught just getting hitters out isn't good enough. You need to dominate hitters, and they need to know that you think you're going to dominate them. At least that's the perception I get. Would that be accurate?
I would say that's accurate, yes. It's just kind of one of those things I've always had. I personally don't like to really think about who the other team is or who's stepping in the box, because honestly, it's just another hitter to me. And I like to compete. I'm out there because I want the team to win and I want to do well so that the team wins. And I'm just going to go out there and try to give everything I have every time. And I mean, that's something I've developed a lot more, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you being the closer, you've been a starter in the past. Do you have a personal preference, or is it just, hey, put me in wherever you need me the most?
So, people will say, oh, exactly that. Do you like starting? Do you like closing? And for me, yes, one is more fun, or one, things along those lines. But wherever I can get the opportunity to throw and help the team in any way, shape, or form, that's what I want to do. just anything that's impactful to the ball club. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I can ask for is just throwing meaningful and impactful innings.
Absolutely. You hear that noise right there? I'm knocking on wood. You
Yeah,
can't see me
I'll
on
do it
screen.
with you right there
Okay,
as
do
well,
it with me
so-
right here. I'm going to go ahead and say it, Sean. I'm cringing as I say this. 20 strikeouts, no walks. What the command, the control. Well, I mean, that's just amazing. Talk about that.
I think that's definitely a reflection of how I like to attack hitters. With Coach Walton, something that he kind of preaches, and not kind of preaches, he definitely does
Yes.
preach, is 2 of the first 3 pitches are strikes. I think it's just a product of that. It's just I kind of going out there and I'm attacking guys, and I've definitely had my fair share of 3-2 counts this year,
Yeah.
and I
Had
just
a couple
say,
last night.
Yep. I'd say some of the biggest things are just conviction in the pitch that you're throwing and the pitch that's called, and just saying, you know what, I've worked on this, I'm going to go execute it, and just attack.
Yeah. So who's more competitive, you or Mario?
Oh,
Like ping pong match, who's winning that? Is that a blood match?
I'm going to say it's a blood match. I'd say we're
I bet
both.
you've had one over here, right?
Yeah, we've had a couple, but he's definitely very competitive. I'd say we're both very competitive individuals, and we just like to compete.
Yeah. So
that's
you
how
have
we
the
are.
high rider and the slider and the changeup, and he has the 2-seam.
Yes, he does.
You both have the same mentality, but totally different pitch. Isn't that cool?
It's awesome. It's very awesome to see. It's been amazing living with him as well.
Yeah. You room with him. Okay, cool.
So there's actually, it's funny. There's what's been our starting 3 in the rotation, and then Mario and I also live in the house as well, and another guy. But it's just been cool. Like we all hang out, we talk, and we bounce ideas off each other, and that's awesome because I think we make each other better by doing that kind of stuff. So
Yeah. So he's from the Bronx, so I'm sure. I didn't even ask him, so I should have. I'm sure he's a Yankees fan.
No.
Don't
Mets. Don't ever bring
he did
Yankees
say
up
Mets.
to him.
Okay, he did say that's like saying you're an Angels fan,
Right.
No, he's a Mets fan, which doesn't matter. The Dodgers beat both of them last year.
Yeah.
So you're a Dodgers fan. He's a Mets fan. He's a wrestling fan. So
Right.
any chance that you can make him a Dodgers fan and he can make you a wrestling fan?
Well, he's already made me a wrestling
Oh,
fan.
he has. Okay.
But considering that the Dodgers just beat the Mets, that was a pretty hostile house for a few days. But
Hey, who was it that's on the Mets team that said they have the best roster in baseball? I mean, get the heck out of here, right?
yeah, I don't know. They did make some good pickups in the offseason. I'll give it to them. But
credit to them.
But secretly, hopefully, the Dodgers knock them out again. So
Okay, man. Last comment for me. Last question. I always say that, then I end up asking 2 or 3 after this. So take that for what it's worth. But so it's really cool. You got to grow up around the Dodgers, and the culture with the Dodgers. You have to be a great person first. You have to be a hard worker. You have to be somebody that somebody wants to be in a dugout with for 6 months.
right.
Before you're a good player. That's the exact culture that Josh has built here. So I'm sure when you walked in, you were like, oh, wow, this is like, I feel like at home from that perspective,
100%.
right?
100%. That was one of the biggest things for me coming out of the portal was the reason, like I had said, I wanted to go back and play for my old coach is because the culture he had created and just the coach and how they operated was very something I admired a lot and respected a lot, which is why I had wanted to go back. So that was one of the biggest things I was looking for when I decided, hey, this is where I want to go. And based on just the coaching staff alone, I knew that the team was going to be a reflection of the coaching staff.
Yeah.
So stepping on campus day one was like, holy cow, like this is awesome.
What you think about the football game? Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was fun. My first college football game ever. Never had anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, never
No
had
Rose
any
Bowl
close to me.
experience,
No.
Oh, okay.
So it was my first one.
No
and
Coliseum? Oh, wow.
yeah, I've actually never been to. I don't think I've been to a professional football game either. But
Oh, wow. I haven't either. Professional football bores me to death.
Yeah.
I like college football better. Okay, see, I told you. I lied. One last question. I promise this is my last one here. Okay. So you go from a facility at Westmont, which is great, but you don't have lights and that kind of thing.
right.
Probably spent a day or two, at least at some facilities, parking like changing in your car, right? That kind of deal. You come here to Oklahoma State, you've seen pictures of OState.
Right.
You see it for the first time. Take us through that experience.
I mean, I felt like a little kid walking into a candy store.
absolutely.
I walked in and I mean, my smile was from ear to ear. And
Still is.
yeah, exactly. And, my cheeks were probably more red than normal, but I mean, it was amazing. I mean, just the facility alone is just, I mean, I still walk in here every day and it still doesn't feel real, but it's amazing. And there's so many tools and everything like that here to help us in addition to the coaches that it makes every day a good day because you can always do something to get better here.
Absolutely. Sean Youngerman, this has been such a wonderful joy. Again, I knew about you coming in, so I was super excited for Oklahoma State to get you. Even more excited to get a chance to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us, Dave.
Thank you very much.